So when I pick up the trumpet, I get to look across the satin finish, across the three valves, and when I get ready to play, all you feel is power. It's like being a captain of a ship. You're getting ready to navigate the oceans, man. It's pretty cool. I'm Pete Carroll, trumpet player for the Al Green Band. I've been a trumpet player for this band since 2007. I'm from Kansas City, Missouri. Very active on the jazz scene and music scene in Kansas City as well. I also sell insurance as well as a day job, so very busy, but I love what I do. The Kansas City music scene has been ever growing. It's always had a rich history in jazz, and that scene kind of disappeared for a while, but it has a resurgence right now. There's a lot of young artists that are playing original jazz music. It really is a nice melting pot for any musicians. They've got a great symphony orchestra, they've got an excellent jazz orchestra, the Kansas City Jazz Orchestra, and then there's several groups that play on a regular basis or have mainstays at different clubs that I get to perform with as well. It's just a really nice place, and the musician scene there is great too. Everyone's there to help everyone out. My first introduction to Al Green's music probably has to go back to some of the soundtracks that it was on. I wasn't really familiar with it. I mean, everyone has heard Let's Stay Together and Simply Beautiful or I'm Still in Love with You. You hear those in the grocery stores, man, just playing. And when I really got, I guess it was, let me think of the movie. It was probably Higher Learning with Ice Cube, man. It's on that soundtrack, and they're bumping to that in their dorm room or whatever it is, man. I'm like, what is that, man? I checked it out. I was like, oh, man, I bought the soundtrack, and there was Al Green. And I was like, man, this is killer. I played that one track over and over and over again, and that must have been back in the 90s when that movie came out. So,
did you ever think you'll, like, maybe one day work with this artist or this music that you like?
Oh, man, I had no clue. Had no clue that I would be the trumpet player for Al Green, man. No clue whatsoever. It just happened to, one day I got a phone call in a music store, man, from the saxophonist Dave Stewart, man. He called the music store line and said, "Where's your cell phone?" I said, "It's in my car, man. I can't have that on the sales floor." He said, "Well, go get your phone right now, and you're gonna get an important phone call." And that's pretty much how it started, man. A recommendation from Dave Stewart, the sax player, and went and played the first gig after shedding with Dave for a couple weeks on the music, and played a really good show that night. Was very confident about it, and that's how it's been ever since. I've had the job ever since. Al hired me at that point. So I got recommended for the gig with Al Green by the saxophonist Dave Stewart, and years prior to that, while at Florida State, I had recommended him for a gig too, and I didn't realize at that point that this was going to be the seed that was planted that would blossom into what it has now. I mean, I've been the trumpet player for Al Green since 2007 now, a long time. So all of this happened because of relationships. The recommendation I made for Dave at the club that he began performing at was based on a need from the general manager there that I happened to know. I thought Dave's music would be perfect for this, and we're always looking out for each other's back, you know, and Dave, I know, trusts me, and I trust him fully, and that kind of has the same aspect of what I do now with Farmers Insurance, you know. We're always got the client in mind, we're trustworthy, and without them really knowing it, we're looking out, we're watching their back, you know, and that's what insurance is supposed to be about. We're supposed to have the interests of the client in mind at all times and really try to protect them the best we possibly can. And being on stage with Al Green is like no other experience I've ever had. The man brings 110% to every show, and his guidance that he has with the band is incredible. I mean, with the flick of a finger, it could be a cutoff, or just how he directs us is amazing. And he wants to do the best he possibly can for each audience that he gets on a nightly basis. He brings everything to the show. He leaves everything on stage, and he encourages us to do the same. It's funny because every night I try to think back of the different versions of like Let's Stay Together that he does. He sings it differently almost every night that we're out, with little inflections here and there, which is what makes him so good at what he does. You listen to the record, and yeah, we play it similar to the record, but that live experience is just like no other, because it's going to be a little bit different, and it can be surprising at times. He even surprises us in the horn section. Dave the sax player, and I'll look at each other when we hear something that Al does, and we're like, man, how can we incorporate that with our playing on a personal level. He's a master at what he does, and he encourages us to be masters at what we do as well. All these characteristics that Al has is a testament to the passion that he brings to the music. He's played for millions of people in thousands of different venues across the globe, and it's like I said, it's different almost every night because he cares so much about the music and his audience, his fans. He cares about them a lot. Al leaves everything on stage, and he encourages us to do the same every night, and that really relates to life as well. You have to be passionate about what you do. You have to go for it when you have the opportunity. Seize every opportunity that you've got, and leave it all on stage. If you don't do that, you can regret things, and we don't want to have any regrets. Al doesn't want to have any regrets, and that's why he encourages that even if we do give 110% on the show that we're on right now, he expects the next one to be better and better and better. So take what you've learned in life and apply it and continue to improve.